What's up with it, y'all? Y'all know what it is. Ian me on another good Tuesday night.
Whoa,
Got
whoa.
my brother Turk with me.
Whoa.
My brother Charlie Rock.
That way.
And my brother Charlie Mack.
Whoa, whoa.
And y'all know we got a special guest in the building, Miss Angela. I'm gonna let her introduce herself though. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Right, and what's your name again?
Angela Jackson.
Angela Jackson.
How you
What do you do,
doing,
Miss Jackson?
Miss
I'm
Jackson.
the owner of Apple and Oranges Enrichment Center. It's a daycare located in Southwest Little Rock.
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
So it's been a little over a year so far.
A little over a year.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's up. What made you want to start a daycare? You know, kids can be, woo, kids. I got some.
Okay, so to make a long story short, during the pandemic, we all got a chance to experience it. Job shifting, so I just thought, okay, let me do something different. So what I done was pull some money out of 401k.
Right.
I worked for the state for a couple of years in the investigation department and seen a lot.
Okay.
And thought I can be the difference and do something different.
That's
So
what's up.
that's what brought it about.
Oh, that's what's up.
So you service all over Little Rock or just Southwest Little Rock?
So I service all over Little Rock. However, I'm located in Southwest Little Rock.
Okay.
Yep.
A lot of clients out there.
Yeah.
A lot of families, a lot of children. Do you deal with more of two-parent households or single-parent households?
Single. I deal with more single parents.
Yeah, that's the
That's
regular.
in need.
Yeah, that's the regular thing now.
Yeah.
What made you start with kids? I mean,
Well, like I said, I've had a lot of experience. So I worked for the state of Arkansas Division Children Family Investigation Department. So doing that off and on for a couple of years, you see a lot. And I saw where I can make a difference.
right,
So that's what caused this journey.
right.
What differences are those?
So the difference I make, I think, with my community, because I have a lot of single mothers, a lot of them catching the bus. My location is where they can walk, pick the kids up, drop them off, go to the bus stop. Not only that, I'm also employing a lot of single women that's needing employment,
Right.
especially in my demographic, if that makes sense.
Right.
So I believe that's the difference that I'm making in my area, if that makes sense.
Yeah, employ our people.
Yeah.
That's a good move.
I remember I seen you sign up and I pulled up and asked you about your daycare. I was trying to get my little son in there and stuff because I ain't really know too much about daycare. I was just going through it with DHS with my son, and they was like, you got to find a daycare for him to go to and pick him up. And you told me where to go. I seen your sign and pulled up.
Yep.
So yeah, you've been doing it for a minute though. How long?
So I've been doing it a little over a year. I think in about 8 more months, it'll be 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's going strong. I'm working in expansion. So with that being said, again, more employment opportunities for our people. You know, people that's in need. Some of the mothers are struggling, and some of the mothers are needing things that I service outside of daycare.
What's your goals?
So my goals is tap into the real estate and expand, and that's my goal. Continue to expand. Right now, I'm loving what I'm doing, and I'm doing what I love.
Right, and that's always a blessing. That's
Yep.
I know so many people. You know, we do stuff that we don't love, and it's draining. But when you do something you love, that's a blessing.
When you do something you love, it's not work.
That's
It's
it.
more of a passion. It's
That's
more
it.
of a calling.
That's it.
More of a purpose.
Yep.
I have a question about when you work for the state. What is investigations?
So investigation is when you get calls from the state police department in regards to some kind of neglect, whether it's child abuse, it may be hunger, it can be sexual. So you deal with a lot of those different things.
Problems for the children in the household.
That's correct.
Right. I understand now.
So do you?
Hey, does your daycare provide transportation?
So I do not provide transportation at this current time. We're working on it.
Right.
It's gonna happen.
Yep. Growth.
Right.
So you do all ages for kids? What's your age?
So my ages right now is going to be infants, so I can get a newborn basically.
Right.
You know, all the way up to 2.5, 3 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's when the expansion I'm talking about come in. We'll start doing the before and after school. Then we'll be dealing with all ages.
So do you work out of a building or a home?
So it's a home daycare. That's a good question. It's a home daycare which is limited to children. So my thing is my expansion is going to max out as to what I can have there in my home.
Right.
And if I decide to buy another home and open up another home daycare, I do so, or either get a center that can
That's what I was
house a
gonna
whole
ask.
lot more.
I was going to ask you, are you going to move to a building when you expand?
So right now, my expansion is going to take place where I'm at, so I can get the max. Okay, once I get the max, then I'll decipher if I want to go ahead on and get a building or purchase another home and continue to open up home daycares, which is rare. You don't see a lot of them.
Right.
Not in this day and age.
No,
Yeah.
What's your drive? What drive you? You know what I'm saying? I see you got a lot of ideas. You mapped out. You structured. what pushed you to be like that as a female?
So, of course, I come from a strong family. You know, my mother. I'm a type A person, so if anybody know about a type A person, you just go hard. Whatever you set your mind to, you work until you achieve and you accomplish it. So you're looking at a woman that whatever I set my mind to, I'm gonna work hard to get it.
right,
Yeah,
right.
Ambition, huh?
yeah, drive.
Must have it.
Yeah.
Are you a spiritual woman?
So I've been raised in the church all my life. My mother is a pastor.
Okay.
So I think the root, that's been a root and grounding point for me
Right.
as to every step that I've taken thus far. So yeah, but I don't impose what I believe on anyone else.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So you're a preacher's kid.
yeah.
Uh-oh, you know what they say about the PK?
We're good people.
You like sports?
Yes, I
Do you?
love sports.
What's your favorite team?
Oh, so right now I'm following Jackson State University, Deion Sanders.
Yes.
Dion, whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
11-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, we clinched the East.
Yeah.
So you're a big Dion fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prime time.
That's the
Doing
right
a great
person.
job
Yeah.
down there. That's sweet.
Yeah.
That's the
You're
right
doing
person.
great.
You mess with
Yes.
NFL?
Yes, with the NFL, I follow players due to the fact you got everybody trading, so I don't have a team anymore.
So who used to be your team?
So I was working with Tom Brady. Now he's,
Tampa Bay.
so yeah. But I like Tom, my oldest son. He's a Tom fan, so I jumped on his bandwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to
yeah.
ask you. Do you have kids?
Yeah, so I have two sons. Yep.
Shout out.
Yeah. Joel Johnson and
Okay.
Jonathan Carew.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Do they support? Do they support your business, your daycare? Do they got?
So my kids are grown.
Oh.
So at this point, it's like I'm living my life, they're living theirs. But in the event that I need them for anything, they're there.
Right. That's what's up.
So proud mom, too. Can't complain.
Did you ever think you would be an entrepreneur, or you always knew?
So okay, that's a great question. I'm gonna say this: I never seen me being where I'm at today. However, I've always had a drive. I've always been a woman that has done something on the side outside of work for someone else.
Hustler.
So this is not the first time that I've done something for myself in regards to like having a second gig or entrepreneurship. I've been doing this for a while. It just has never been at this magnitude.
Right.
It's big enough now that I can employ people. Never in my life have I done something where I can employ someone, but I've always did something on the side.
Right.
So I think that answered your question.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It answered my question very well.
Yep.
That's good.
I hear you.
Yep. So I always had a drive. I always had a drive.
And a smile.
Yeah.
Gotta keep
With a
smiling.
camera.
Keep a lot of things going.
Yep.
Man, we proud to have you at the show,
Thanks for
we been
having me.
seeing you, you know what I'm saying? I seen you over there on the corner working and doing your thing. You stay busy,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? I seen your little helmets out there and stuff, so that's how I knew you was like sports.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you do sport programs and things of this sort?
So I don't do sports program. That's just my personal. Okay, so that's what I do on my me time. That's, dealing with children all day. You got to understand I reside where I work. So when I have my downtime, football is my relaxing. I do the pedicures, I do the massages. Football is my go-to.
Right.
I don't drink or smoke. Football is my go-to. When I shut everything down, 5:30, I'm jumping on Instagram, I'm following Deion, I'm seeing everything they doing. That's my thing, football.
Right. That's
Football my
what's up.
go-to.
You said you do the pedicure, or you talking about for yourself?
So I go get treated. You know what I'm saying? I go get the whole shebang with making sure the body's relaxed, calm. Because when you're working with children, especially in this day and age, and it's all ages. I mean, it starts young when you start seeing a lot of things that's a little challenging. You got to be mentally prepared, if that makes sense.
Have you played
So,
sports before?
Yeah, I used to play basketball.
Yeah. Was you
Center.
good? Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Post up.
Yeah.
What school?
So I did it when I was young. So I played for McClellan.
So I graduated.
I played for, take that back, I played for Cloverdale Junior High and Mapleville Junior High. I also played softball. And it was just like through a community center coming up.
Yeah, I was sorry in softball. I couldn't do nothing in that baseball. That baseball threw me off. That's the only game I had no game in, baseball. Man, everything else I was cool.
We had to play it. We played for Uncle Lawrence.
Yeah,
so
and they.
that was, matter of fact, that was my first best sport was baseball.
It's money.
I love it.
It's money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we empower my environment though. A little something about us. We doing this out of love too. That's what we do. You know what I mean? We here to help people advertise what they do. You know what I'm saying? We here to
Appreciate
bring
that.
smiles to our people face that they come up. We here to help the community with whatever they need, far as insurance, foster care, help. If they need help, even to find somebody like you, we want to
Yeah.
make sure that we had a contact to give to our people and community all over. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it's all important to us too. You know what I mean? So we be happy to have you all the time. You know, anytime you ever want to come back, anytime you got something to say, you know, come to the EME show.
That sounds
know how to
great. Thanks for
find us.
having me.
You're welcome.
Great.
If you had to tell a young lady, you know, a young lady something about, you know, it's a lot of ladies want to do things, but they don't have that drive. If you had to tell a young lady some information, well, not even a young lady, a younger person,
Yeah.
about their dreams to do something, what advice would you give someone?
So the first advice is like it's got to be a passion. It's got to be something you really want to do. You know, if you're going into it for the money, you're doing the wrong thing because you're going to burn out eventually.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a gift. So I'll say a gift. I think what I do is a gift.
Right.
Everybody is not equipped to work with children. I have a lot of friends that owns a lot of businesses. They tell me to this day that's something I can't do.
Right.
So I just tell people, you know, if it's something that you got a passion about, go at it at 100% at all costs.
Right.
You know, research it out, see who you can connect with, intern, depending on what you need to do, and move forward. You know, get around the right people, though, your circle. Being around positive people and having that circle that's going to beg you, push you. And it's not always finance. Sometimes you need an ear. Sometimes you just need somebody to say, hey, I'll run your errands, something that small. You know what I'm saying, when you're starting out. So it's just about that drive, getting out here, getting it, and being around the right people, you know, to help push your vision.
Yeah.
I don't care how small it is, everybody can contribute.
Right.
Are you willing to mentor young people?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm part of the youth department at my church, Eagle Saints Outreach International. So it's like whatever I need to do, I do. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I'm on the back scene of it, though. So it's just donations, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know, making sure whatever they need, whether it's monetary, it's different items, then yeah, I do what I do.
Good to hear.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, we're going to have to link in then.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can connect on that one.
Yeah, because we trying to get us, well, ain't no trying, we're in the midst of getting our big brother and big sister program together, so we'd love to work with you.
That's great.
Right.
Yeah.
It was very important what you said, though, about having a heart for it, because everybody can't work with kids, and, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on at daycare, so to know that, to even see your energy, I know that it's good energy. So
Yep.
to have your kids around good people really matter, because some people, you know, they do just do it for the money, and then you hear all these stuff go on at daycares and like, wow, but that's because they heart ain't in it. So to drop your kids off with the right people is
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's
then,
the
like,
thing.
any education advantages they have going to your school?
Yeah. So when you talk about education, we're talking about infants. The thing is, it gets really deep, you guys. So when you talk about education, you may say, we got infants, you know. We're required by the state to start teaching. So they have something out here called Better Beginnings. That's requirements that's a little higher than what the state would require. The state requires one level. But when you start talking about Better Beginnings, because that's talking about a different set of funding, they require another level, if that makes sense.
Right.
So when you talk about learning and educating, you start at birth.
Right.
You know, so I have curriculums that I'm having to teach my infants all the way up until they graduate from my program, so they're continuing learning. And that should be at every daycare, whether you're in-home daycare, a big old facility, you're preparing them for the next level, if that makes sense.
Right, and that's
Yeah,
very
so-
important for a parent to even think about when it comes about choosing a daycare system, because you want to have them where education starts early.
Yeah. But again, every daycare should be doing it.
Right.
but, it just, well, I just say that because it just depends on how far you want to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like going to school to get a degree. You can go as far as you want to go. You can go, get the doctorates. You can stop at the master's. You can just say, I want a bachelor's.
Right.
So when you talk about daycare, it's different levels.
Right.
So you can have level 1, level 2. I think now they incorporate, we can go all the way up to level 6.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, it's just about the knowledge that we're having to learn to impart into the children.
Good.
So it just depends on the daycare. However, it's still a standard and a requirement that you have to teach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So what level does your daycare go
So
to?
I just opened up. I'm level 1. I'm getting ready to apply for level 2. And it's steps and it's stages. So it's every 6 months. So I'm embarking up on my 6th month, and then after I get level 2, then you have to sit out 6 months. Then you apply again. So you just keep going up until you max out. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's all time, like
It's
6
about timing.
months, 6 months.
It's about timing with the state.
And you don't have to have any teacher qualifications or anything?
So you don't. I have degrees. However, the workers that I have, high school diploma. However, when you go into childcare, you have to go through abundance of classes and training.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's real. You have to go through
That's
it. You have
important.
to pass every test, and you get certificates. So in the event that anything happened, you're held accountable because you're very educated.
Right.
Not only that, every year we have to go back and get recertifications.
Right.
Things changes. You
So-
know, you're upgrading. So whether or not you can come in with a PhD, you still have to go through the required training that's required by the state.
Right, that's good to know. Because in the past, me growing up, I've seen people just hire people out the street. They don't, if they like children, they just want a job. So, and then they working around kids, and like I said,
No, it's real. They do a background check. It's gonna be a FBI. It's real.
Right.
It's real. And like I said, outside of getting the background check done, that's done first. Once you pass that, you have a series of classes that you have to take. It's required. It's required. So you can't get around it, period.
right, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Period.
So every 6
Period.
months, when you try to go to each new level, do they like grade you from your past and to determine if they're going to get you the next level up, or do they just automatically, since you've been going 6 months or a year, they just automatically push you to the next level?
So this is how it goes. When you go for every level, you have an observation team that comes in. They observe you. So if I'm going for level 2, that's going to require getting funding. Right now, I'm not getting funding in that area. Okay? So level 2 is getting funding. So they'll send a team, and they just observe. They take notes. They don't talk to you at all. So they're grading you, and I know exactly what they're looking for. So when I go for 3, it's more funding involved. Well, it'll be a team come out, and I will already know. So that the thing is, I need to make sure I have everything in place, and I need to make sure what they're looking for, that I'm utilizing that in my facility.
Okay.
So
That mean when
every level you go on, you're going to be graded. It doesn't have anything to do with the past. It's right now. This is what you need to be doing. So if you want to continue to climb this ladder, it's a lot of things that's required.
Do like the kids, like on each level, do the kids get bigger than you can have? Like I know you on level 1, you probably can have a couple kids, but when you get to level 2, do it grow? You
So-
have more and more children.
Okay, so
More and more.
you got to understand, when you open up a daycare and you're dealing with the state requires something different, okay? So the state determines how many children you can have. The state does. So when you start talking about Better Beginnings, that's strictly funding. So now this is a requirement that they requires, dealing with a lot of education, dealing with the environment being where it needs to be. So those are going to be 2 different teams, if that makes sense.
Right.
So when you talk about, well, Angela, you're level 2 now, you can have more children now. That doesn't, they can't dictate what the state requires. Better Beginners they all under the same umbrella, but it's different departments, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I can go up to level 6. That still doesn't mean I can get more children.
Right.
Okay. Great questions, guys.
We tried, we've been doing it for a little while, so we didn't got to look good at it.
Yeah, y'all have. Yeah.
You pretty good at it. You serious.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm
these girls
real
need to
tough.
do in business. Get serious sometimes.
Yeah.
Prosper.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do 100 families can link in with that, send kids to the daycare?
I'm sure they might help fund a family, to help pay for it, but
Right.
I'm not. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So.
We don't know all that.
Yeah, well, no, we'll see if we can link in, man. How we
sounds
can work
good.
together, man.
I had another question. You remember you was talking about funding for. What if you don't need the state's funding?
So, okay.
Like you got
Private
a loan from a
funding.
bank or something, and they provided you the income to start your daycare, and you don't really need funding from the state, or does that never come up?
Okay. So, I need you to just reiterate that. Say that one more time.
Private funding.
Right. Okay, you want to start a daycare, and you was just telling us that when you go to each level, it has something to do with funding, right?
So let me explain something.
Okay.
Yeah, so y'all, okay. So let me explain this. When you talk about funding, I'm talking about better beginnings. I'm still new, so I'm still learning. Okay.
Right.
Better beginning funding doesn't have anything to do with opening up a daycare.
Right.
Oh, that's just any
Okay.
business.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Better beginning funding is once a daycare is open, and they decide to want to start getting certain funding.
Right.
Okay, so anybody can open up daycare. Y'all can open up a daycare right now, but you can't go knocking at Better Beginnings door and say, "Hey, I need money." They don't help unless you're already established.
It's
which means
funding for programs.
It's funding for daycares, and I don't know if the schools do it, but I can speak on daycares.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So it doesn't have anything to do with opening. You figure out how you're gonna open.
Right.
You heard what I said. I took my money out of my 401k.
Yeah, you did
You
say
figure
that.
out how you
Yeah.
open.
But they come along
Gotta have
later
your own.
on.
If you
Yeah,
choose to have,
Okay.
if you choose to have the program.
Right.
Okay, I
It's
got
up
it
to
now.
you.
I understand now.
So if you choose to have it, because that's going to be continuous funding. Right now, I'm doing 100% private pay.
Self-made.
Okay.
When you first start.
But I want to be able to network on every level.
Right.
Because you do have some working mothers that's, no more fixed income. They cannot afford the prices that I'm charging. But if the state say, hey, well, I'll step in and I'll pay this much for you, then it's helping them get child care and helping them go to work.
I understand that.
Okay.
I didn't understand that.
That's
And the
okay,
more
that's what I'm here
programs,
for.
the more programs, the better your institution becomes, and the more programs that you can provide the kids, and the more funding. So
All that,
yeah, I get it.
period.
I know. I wasn't knocking. I was just being nosy. I ain't know.
Yeah.
helps us understand from a little.
That's it. That's it. And like I said, I'm still learning with this Better Beginning thing. As y'all, as I mentioned earlier, I'm at level 1, so I'm still learning. I'm still learning, so I don't know it all. I have friends that's been in this thing 20, 25 years, so they're veterans. They could have came in here and just walked it down a whole lot better than I. So I can only speak in my experience and my level.
Right.
I'm still climbing. I'm still hungry for more, and I'm going to continue to work until I get to where I want to be.
Come on,
Yeah.
just motivated me.
Well, God bless your journey, man.
Yes,
And
yes,
keep
man.
on doing
Amen.
your thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a good
Keep
job.
going.
It's very inspiring.
You right in the neighborhood, so
Thank
we see
you.
you. We see you
Anytime I
thriving.
see we done had a lot of people come up here and started their own business. And it's very motivating to see, especially our people, having their own business, doing it. Like that's like
Yep.
shout out.
That's what it's about.
Black women rock, so you know how they go.
I'll
They
take
doing their
that.
thing.
I'll take that.
Hey, what's the name of the business one more time, and where is it located?
So it's Apple and Oranges Enrichment Center, Southwest Little Rock, right off of Baseline, 6824 Fairfield Drive, Little Rock, Arkansas, 72209. I can be reached at 501-349-7545 if you have any questions. Facebook is Apple and Oranges Enrichment Center. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't do Instagram. I don't have an
Okay.
account set up.
Got a
Yeah, I heard it.
website.
Yeah.
So I don't have a website. It's just going to be Facebook, or you can contact me. You can do a virtual tour on Facebook, and if it's something you're interested in after you do the virtual tour, just give me a call and set up. We can go rock and roll.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't forget that now, Apple and Oranges now. Hey,
Put it on.
that's what's up. I like that.
Yeah. It's Angela Jackson.
Jackson.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Okay.
Angela Jackson.
He giving you a name, Dave.
Right.
Dave. Who? Look at dude, looking out serious.
Be in and out of the prayer though. We're gonna ready to end it though. We're gonna let it end it with brother. I'll do his little prayer.
Yes, most definitely. If y'all will, can you say, bow your heads, moment of silence for a word of prayer. Creator God, first and foremost, we want to thank you for another day you have allowed us to see, God. We just ask that you continue to shape and mold us into the men that you created us to be, God. Continue to watch over Miss Jackson's business, help it to grow, prosper, help us continue to trust and depend on you, knowing that every door that's meant to be opened up will open up, and every door that's meant to shut to be shut. And help us to keep that same mindset, God. We thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for this day. Until we meet again, it's in your most holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you guys.
Whoa.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Dope show. Another dope show.
Hey, y'all know how we do next week.